Hi, this is Abhishek Sengupta and welcome back. You are listening to Abhishek Sengupta audioblogs. We are here with another episode of Knowledge Talks. Now, in this episode, we have with us Anna Tran. Now, I'm extremely thrilled to welcome Anna Tran, a strategic PR consultant and the driving force behind the Level Up with Anna. With over 15 years in sales, 7 years in marketing, and 3 years specializing in PR, Anna has helped entrepreneurs, experts, and the brands share their stories authentically, and she secured features for her clients in Forbes, Entrepreneur, top podcast, TV segments, and niche industry publications, all while championing in no-fluff, value-driven approach. Now, Anna believes PR isn't just about chasing headlines, it's about crafting a bigger narrative that aligns with who you are and what you stand for. Beyond building media strategy, she enjoys discovering new coffee spots, staying active, and creating meaningful connections, all while helping the brands elevate their message and make a lasting impact. First and foremost, Anna, welcome to our show, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome and introduction. I look forward to having a meaningful conversation with you about everything here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we really hope that our listeners will get some value from our conversation. So I'm going straight to the point. My point number one of discussion is evolution of PR in the digital era. Now, we have been seeing that public relation has transformed from traditional media releases. What is your opinion on this? How is this transformation? And what do you think this transformation can bring to the world, to the business, and to the entrepreneurs? Over to you.
Absolutely. So, yes, you are right. PR has evolved from being purely about media coverage to becoming a full spectrum of visibility and strategy. Like as we all know, traditional PR is focused on press releases, news conferences, and print features. However, today the landscape has evolved to digital first, where stories and live online streams travel like fast travel, and it's all been evolved in real time to encompass a digital like a story, kind of building that timeline in real time, if you know what I mean, right? However, what hasn't changed is the heart of PR, which is relationships. What has changed is where those relationships are built. Now it's through podcasts, right? Social media, email lists, and digital communities. So modern PR isn't, well, it's no longer about waiting for permission to be seen. It's about proactively shaping your story and disturbing distributing it across multiple platforms and digital touch points. So in a way that connects with your audience's values, not just their attention span.
Wow, that's really well explained. So, while we were just saying, I have just scribbled a couple of points that, one thing is the relationship definitely stands where it was. Digital it did not spoil that relationship. This is number one. Number two is that you can create the timeline. But third point I will like to add from my end is that with this digital, PR has got that target audience, what we call as the whom we are targeting, we can fix it to a huge extent. Previously, with the traditional media, like like billboards or with the traditional news magazines or probably newspaper publication, it at times reaches to the people who may not be interested in our product or our story. But in the digital age, somehow we can select our audience. For example, if you have put up something called billboard or a poster like of thing, it can be seen by even to the people who might not be interested in our product. That's number one. But digital age, we can pinpoint our audience, and of course we can build our own timeline, as you have well said. Now this takes us to our second point: role of social media in modern PR. Now, how the platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, or now it's X instead of Twitter, I must say, uh, Instagram, TikTok are not just marketing channels, but they are powerful PR tools for businesses to manage their image, engage with the audience, and handle crisis in real time. Over to you.
Yeah, so that's a really good point because in business, like what you put out there, it's shaping your reputation. So social media has become one of the most powerful PR tools that we have, and it's in real time. It's building relationship and it's reflective of how people actually consume information. And the beauty of it is that there is a feedback mechanism with all the insights of what you put out there as well. So it's um it's more of like a two-way conversation nowadays, and people will take that information, brands, businesses, and just reiterate it or double down on what's working and what is really engaging with their audience. And in the past, PR was just one way, right? We'd send a release out and hope that it would be picked up. Now it's a two-way, and audiences talk back and engage and even co-create narratives with brands. And that helps build a longer term foundational relationship with the audience, right? And each platform plays a unique role. So LinkedIn, it builds authority and thought leadership. Instagram, it humanizes the brand. TikTok makes storytelling relatable and viral, and Twitter, X, what have you, drives conversation and news flow. So these are the key is not just to post on social media, it's to participate and get the audience to engage back. And the brands that win at PR today are the ones that listen, engage, and show up authentically. And I'm not sure if you've seen this, but some brands take it to another level and they have really witty responses on other creators' comments, right? That are funny, and it builds that brand reputation in the comment section nowadays too.
Well, that's pretty well explained, I must say. Now, few points which really you have made is that first and foremost, it's interactive. A traditional media was not so interactive. It was more like a one-way traffic. We convey our whatever we want to convey, and there was no interactive unless and until someone writes or someone gives a call or something like that. But with the social media tools, that two-way communication can be engaged. People can comment over comment. People can go for comments. People can even send a DM or direct message, so like that. So this is number one. Secondly, the crisis management. Many a times I have seen people who are there in crisis can put a small tweet or small X note over there, and immediately I have seen those are the fast moving messages. Immediately the PR desk of that company can immediately respond, get it sorted or whatever. That is like that. And the third point which you have really mentioned is that it also gets into a lot of different types of content. For example, in TikTok, Insta, it's more like a video content. It could be a pictorial content. Whereas in the LinkedIn, or probably you can write blogs. Even the LinkedIn blogs and LinkedIn newsletters are a hit nowadays. Even all big influencers have their LinkedIn newsletters, and I'm very much a big fan of LinkedIn newsletters. Some of the finest insight at times we get it. And the fourth and the last point, which I have scribbled down while we are talking, is that it gives a lot of insight. Now, with the traditional media, getting insight was very difficult. Of course, they have to do a lot of stuff. They have to do a lot of, we have to put a lot of effort to get the ROI, return on investment, or insights for traditional media. However, with a click of mouse, we can get a lot of insight: how many people clicked, how many people liked, how many people has gone through, at what time they have seen our contents, at what, from where they have seen the content, the demographic, and everything we can with just a click of mouse. Some of the finest insight, and that helps us to re-strategize our media or PR strategies. And some might work, some might not work. We can segregate that. We can repeat what is working, and we can refine what is not working. So like that, it gives us a lot of flexibility, a lot of insight, and a real modern approach. So some of the very good points which you have mentioned. Now, this is taking us to our third point. Now, PR tool and the platforms. Now, as we dive into the tools that streamlines PR efforts, such as the market monitoring platforms like Meltwater or Chrisen, the automated press release distribution tools, and AI driven analytics which measure campaign effectiveness. What do you think, and how important are these kind of tools, and is it very difficult to use this kind of tools, or is there any easier version for the newcomers who can use these tools? And how is AI shaping this? Because AI is getting into everything. AI is getting into PR, AI is getting into every other modules of business. How AI is involved in PR, and how are these tools beneficial, whether these are very tough to use, easy to use? What are your opinions on this? Over to you.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good question because, nowadays it has become a silent member in modern PR. Technology itself plays a role to fast track everything as well. Tools like Meltwater and it automates what used to take hours, right? Media monitoring, journalists, outreach, and even press release distribution. AI analytics can track sentiment in real time and just measure campaign impact. But while automation is powerful, I always say use tech to enhance connection, not to replace it. PR still requires a human heart behind every headline, and automation helps with data, but it still shapes the story. Like the discernment still shape the story, and people feel that connection. You can't replace connection. So, yes, it fast tracks, enhance everything, but you still got to put heart into it. And sometimes when I talk to business owners and other hosts like yourself, I want to ask, like, can you tell? I'm pretty sure people reach out to you on a daily basis about being on your show and everything. And there are AI tools out there to pitch, even podcasts. Like, can you tell if it's human or if it's not?
Wow, well said. One thing I really like, that I think everyone agree with me, that such kind of AI and tools are to enhance our work and to enhance the connection, not to replace it. Always a human touch and the human feelings cannot be replaced. Let it be business, let it be PR, whatever is there. It is always said a PR will be considered as a successful PR strategy or a campaign if it nurtures the emotion, right? It's Amazon. It's, it says A to Z. That arrow of Amazon says A to Z. Again, this nurtures emotion. It's like that. It's like that. Even the Apple is like, because it somewhat pulls a string of emotion. So it's always like that. However, AI can enhance such kind of thing. It can enhance a lot of data metrics and all those things. But that human string, the pulling of the human emotional string, is something which still exists. Without this, at the end of the day, AI will not buy the products. AI will not buy the things. It's humans who buy the things. Whatever the AI, artificial intelligence you have, human emotions and human intelligence cannot be replaced. And of course, it can do a lot of good things. It can increase a lot of efficiency. But at the end of the time, humans intelligence and human emotion still persist, and it will keep on like that. I'm going to the next point: influencer and thought leadership strategies. Now, could you discuss the leveraging influencers or market experts, industry expert, brand exposures as modern PR channel? How does it come like? Because this is a new concept. Many people have advocated in favor of this. Many have advocated against this. But at times it is not bad because it has come up very well. We must nurture it. Now, could you also give us some tips on identifying the right voices and creating authentic collaboration that resonate with the audience? Over to you.
Yeah, so we can see it nowadays where brands will have a stronger personal human like account to it. For example, like if you look at Elon Musk versus Tesla, like he has more followers than the Tesla account, right? Um, and and that's where the market is shifting, where it's more about the personal brand nowadays, and influencers are typically the new media. And instead of pitching to one journalist, you might now want to collaborate with 5 trusted voices who can amplify your message to thousands of their close followers, right? Engaged followers. However, influencer PR isn't just about following follower count, it's about fit. And the most powerful collaborations come from alignment in values and not just audience size, right? So for thought leaders nowadays, I always say don't chase viral, build vital. And you want to create partnerships that feel authentic and serves a mission that will resonate long after a post disappear. So making sure that it is based off of truth and aligned values, authenticity. These are things that will last uh, far beyond a viral post, right? And yeah, so that is something that you want to take a look at if you're working with any type of PR or marketing team, influencers. Those are the things that I would look for to identify.
Wow, wonderfully said. I have just taken down 3 points. First is the right fit, because the whosoever you are using and the product or the brand which you are promoting is something that has to be a right fit. You cannot get, if it is a not right fit, that will not pull the emotional string. As I have, we were discussing before, that it has to put a human emotion, it has to somewhat nurture the human emotion. That is important. So right fit is important, number one. Number two is definitely, you have said, it brings authenticity at times, because it has to be authentic. It cannot be a manual voice, because I have even seen many avatars saying a lot of things, lot said, but unless and until someone it doesn't look authentic, to be honest. Many a times people just scroll down, because whenever we are getting a lot of contents on the phone in form of reels, in form of whatever, most of the time I have seen avatars play an important role. It can, of course, go for a lot of things, but while endorsing, but while putting the uh, how should I say that, putting the concept forward, many a times people, most of the people, I must say, they prefer a human voice, a human emotion, so that they can connect with that. Avatars cannot connect with that many of time, but of course it can amplify the message, whatever you have said. But that connect has to be there. And the third thing is that authenticity is important. Absolutely, authenticity is important, because there is no doubt that authenticity really matters. Because I have even seen the people have spent millions and millions of dollars on different PR activities, and it fails miserably many of time. Many of the multinationals have also failed in their many of their one of the major reason is that it didn't click properly. Why it didn't click properly? It did not nurture the emotion. What we call as emotional quotient is very important. We have to measure the emotional quotient of every campaign, whatever we are doing. IQ was an old thing, intelligent quotient. Emotional quotient, EQ, is the modern thing. So every campaign, let it be a PR campaign and an advertising campaign, or whatever campaign you take it has to pull a emotional thing. It has to be of high EQ every time. Unless and until it is a campaign of high EQ, you cannot get the target audience, you cannot get the audience conversion. What we say, people can see a lot of things, because if they do not convert, that ROI gets low, or probably there is no ROI at all. So because in order to create a campaign, in order to present a campaign, you have to do some kind of investment. Unless and until that EQ is high, that thing doesn't come up. ROI you will not be getting it. So this is,
Exactly.
yes. So this is taking us to our next point. Now, this is a bit different. Now, crisis management and reputation monitoring. Now, this might seem too controversial. One is crisis management and reputation. Many times people see it too controversial subject, but I always say this is a two parts of the same coin. If the reputation monitoring is not right, that leads to crisis, and vice versa. But let me take it in a different way. Could you cover the importance of real time monitoring of brand mentions, sentiment analysis, tools that help the business respond proactively to negative publicity and misinformation? Because in this time, because whenever the contents are readily available, a lot of influencer, everyone is putting their views in, whether he or she is an expert or not an expert, doesn't matter. There are high chances that people can get trolls, people can get into negative publicity, negative marketing, which can negatively impact the brand value of the person or the company. Over to you.
Yeah, this is a good one because we see it on a daily basis as well. You can see a company like reputation can be built over years and challenged in a matter of minutes. And that's why monitoring everything, it's good to monitor everything. And with today's tools, you can track brand mentions, sentiment, and engagement in real time so that you can respond before a small issue becomes a headline. And when it comes to crisis, like when a crisis hits, I tell my clients three things that you want to do. The first thing is pause before posting. So don't react or respond, right? And then number two, own the narrative. Be transparent. Transparency builds trust, right? And number three is show consistency. Your response should match your brand's character, not just your PR plan, right? And ultimately, reputation management isn't about avoiding problems. It's about showing integrity when they arise. So if it is a mistake on your end, just own it and provide a solution. However, if it's a troll or if somebody is just, maybe if it's a fake account leaving a negative review or what have you, your audience will be able to see right through it because you've already built a consistent a reputation across the board on how you handle these type of responses and how you yeah, even just respond to them.
Well, I 100% agree with you. Now we are living in an age of information. What I mean is that before buying any product, we see a lot of reviews. Okay, if I book any hotel, I go to the Google review or probably the TripAdvisor review. Or likewise, if I'm buying something from Amazon or Amazon site, I see the reviews like this. So many a times, of course, there are two aspects of it. First is to prevent such kind of incidents. How not to get into the trap, that's number one. And if we get into this, how to come out of it. Okay. The first and foremost is that we should be absolutely good with our product and the after sale service. Most of the time, people get angry because after sale service, if it is not right, or probably if the product starts giving a lot of trouble and the company is not responding for this. So this is the first thing people get into. From the customer point of view, it makes the customer angry if after paying so much money or after paying whatever, they are not getting the right service or the right product, or the product is not as per their expectation. So right passing of the information or the transparency, whatever you have said right now, that is the point number one to do this. How to prevent that, that's there. Now there are a lot of eyeballs on review because people see reviews more and buy less. So as long as people see thousands of reviews, if I want to buy a mobile, so I will see hundreds of mobiles, so the hundreds of review, whether shall I take this model or that model, shall I take Samsung or shall I take Xiaomi or shall I take whatever, Apple or whatever. It could be Nokia, it could be so many things. So what we have to see over here is that we have to present exactly what are the features we are having transparently, and let the people come out with this. So if someone still posts some negative review, immediately respond to that. If you cannot let it go like this, because fire never dies down, it will increase. It many a times we say just the flapping the wings of a butterfly, it can become cyclones like anything. So we have to prevent the flapping of the wings of the butterfly because it can get converted into cyclone. So that's what is the power of the social media nowadays. We have to immediately respond. Probably we have to get in touch with the client or the customer and get this sorted immediately. And we have to respond. Obviously, we cannot let the views, good, bad, ugly, whatever the reviews we are getting, we cannot leave it like that. We have to keep on responding. We have to immediately connect with them, and we have to take some very strong and genuine actions to prevent those in future and communicate that we have noted your review. Our team is working on that. We make sure that next time you are there, next time you come to us, you don't face this when these are the things we have taken. these are the actions we have taken, so and so and so. I think there is also a positive way of responding the negative reviews, right? If you're getting
Mhm.
negative reviews, you cannot avoid it, of course. All the reviews cannot be positive. There is always a positive way of responding negative reviews. I think that's there. So it was explained very well. Now, this is taking us to our next point. Now, data driven PR campaigns. Now, this is important because most of the activities, whatever we are doing, are data driven, because nowadays we have a lot of insights across. Could you please highlight how the analytics tools help track social media or any kind of media coverage, audience engagement, and ROI? Now, could you also discuss and let us know how the data informs strategy and helps to refine messaging and identifies opportunities for a better storytelling? Of course, storytelling is the base for any PR campaign. What do you think on this? Over to you.
Yeah, it's quite interesting nowadays that we have, like, data has become our creative compass. And we no longer have to guess what works. We can just measure reach, engagement, sentiment, and ROI with precision nowadays, right? And I use analytics not to replace storytelling, but to refine it. So, for example, data might show which headlines attract attention or which stories convert awareness into action, right? So the best PR is both emotional and empirical, heart-led, but data-informed, right? And the balance helps brands tell stories that not only inspire people, but also deliver tangible results. And you'd be surprised too, because the beauty of it is the market is our laboratory, whether it's uh, an article that we put out or a paid ad that we put out, what we think that the market will like or respond to or engage with may not be the case. So that's why data and analytics play an important role. And then from there, we refine it, right? And I've spoken to contributors at Forbes even where they would look for trending topics. However, when they put out a thoughtful article, it's not getting the views that they want. So it's quite interesting how the market is ever changing, and how we use these tools, but don't fully rely on it, like just sometimes being at the end of the day, being authentic and just showing up with truth and honesty, transparency, that is what really gets people, yeah, making a lasting emotional impact.
Wow, wow, that's really. I really like one point which you have just said, that many a times we get obsessed with our work. Whatever we are doing, probably it will work and everything, but most of the time that doesn't happen, right? It's always said that many things what we do, part of it works, part of it doesn't work. Now, insights are the real, I must say, the guiding star, which can really have what is working and what is not working. So we can repeat what is working and we can refine what is not working. So that's what is the guiding point, and that acts as what we call as a pole star, which can really keeps us showing the direction. How does it go? Like now, we have really seen many a times that people are so obsessed with their concept, with their whatever they are doing, they exactly don't care what the other side of the people on the other side of the table is actually feeling. We may have designed a wonderful PR campaign, or probably made a wonderful product or offered some great services. But if the person on the other side of the table didn't like it, there is no value to that. So here comes the importance of insights. Insight can really tell what is working, what part of the content is working, it is working at what age. I mean, which age group of our audience is liking it, which age group is not liking it. Probably after knowing those things, we can re-strategize our content, we can re-strategize our PR activity. Okay, if the youngsters are liking, okay, let's make such kind of contents more for youngsters. Or probably if with our interview, or probably with our reels, some people in their 40s are liking, and they are responding to that, they are buying the products, or they are giving a positive feedback. Okay, let's make such kind of reels for the people who are in their 40s, and so on, so on. So here the insights are really of the great help. So whenever we are making the contents or whatever, when we are doing our marketing or email campaigns, we keep a lot of we a lot of stress on the inside, what is working. Many a times we said, sending a content or posting a content on certain time of the day also matters. Many a times we have seen engagement is good in the second half of the day, after 2 o'clock. If we post a content or if we send our newsletter, the engagement which we are getting is much more as compared to if we send it on the first half of the day. So probably that is one of the insight which we have seen. So like that, there could be more, and every time this is an ongoing thing. Many a time insights change. This helps us to understand which trend market is getting, which trend is outgoing, and so on. So like that, insights are the guiding lamp. So this is taking us to our next point: integrating PR with marketing and branding. Now, this is a triangle, I must say. Could you help us to understand or explore how the convergence of PR, marketing, and branding in modern business landscape? Now, could you also help us to understand the strategies for a cohesive message across campaigns, social media, and traditional PR channel to strengthen the brand identity? Over to you.
Yeah, so uh, a lot of people mistaken marketing and branding and PR. They're all set like different, right? However, they're no longer separate silos. They're one ecosystem that feeds into each other. Marketing drives traffic and traffic and eyeballs. Branding drives identity, and PR drives credibility and interest, right? And when these three things are aligned, that's where momentum happens. A brand story should flow consistently from its website into its ads to its social media and its media features so that the audience experiences one unified message across all the platforms. In the digital age, integration is impact, and you can't tell a story once. You have to echo it through every channel with purpose, clarity, and consistency. So if you want to use all three things and make sure that they are working for you and not against you, just make sure that everything is clear and consistent across the board.
Wow, you have rightly mentioned that these are all separate things, but many a times we have to re-strategize how these three can be made as a cohesive force for bringing our brand together, or probably how it can act on a positive way on the brands. So, just a quick question: is it applicable for personal brandings also?
Yeah, it is actually because nowadays, right, everything that we have multiple platforms. And why are we putting out content in the first place? It's so that people know who you are. And if it's not consistent across all your social media platforms, something as simple as that, then what are your audience seeing? Where's the disconnect? Right? You can have amazing LinkedIn, and if you want to be searchable, people are going to want to know you on the more human side, such as on your Instagram or even TikTok, right? So it has to be consistent. And yes, to answer your question, yes,
Oh,
helps with
yes.
personal branding. Yeah.
Yes. I'll just put one more question. It's not a question, it's more, I will just put one more point over here is that many a times social media or such kind of activities are also, uh, I must say, such kind of platforms are also taken as a search engine, right? People do more search in YouTube or Instagram or Facebook nowadays, or LinkedIn, I must say, rather than searching on Google. So, what is your opinion? Does it have any significant, or in order to do that, in order to cope up with this trend, do we need to re-strategize our PR and marketing activities or media activities? But how do you take this as social media as a search engine?
Yeah, you know what? The cool thing is nowadays what you post on social media, it actually adds to the search engines itself. Not even just Google. Also people are using ChatGPT nowadays or other AIs to confirm their searches and get a profile of whoever they're looking into or doing the research on, right? And which is interesting because now you have to be very thoughtful when you are putting content out there because it's picking up, even though you're focusing on one, it's picking up on multiple, right? So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, focusing on social media and YouTube, that does help at the end of the day. But now we know it is all working together to gather the right information to present to you because they all want your attention, right? So they all want to give you the proper information, no matter where it is.
Wow, that's really well explained. So, this is bringing us to the end of our talk show, and it was wonder interacting with Anna. So, if any one of you would like to connect with her, I will give her profile links and the social media links in the description of this episode, using which you can connect with her. I will also give her email ID in the description of this. So, anyone would like to connect with her, feel free to connect her for designing your PR strategies or digital marketing strategies or anything of that sort. Anna, any closing remarks from your end?
Yeah, I mean, whoever's watching, if you watch it all the way to the end, I truly appreciate it, and I truly appreciate you having me on the show as well. If there's any takeaway, just a closing reflection would be, we're in an area where visibility is no longer optional, but visibility without integrity doesn't last. What PR has evolved beyond is press. It's now about your presence, and the brands that will stand out and stand the test of time are the ones who lead with purpose, not pressure, not reactive.
Wow, that's a great message. Great message. So again, this we are I would love to carry on with this conversation. This was a wonderful conversation, but of course, for the sake of time, for the sake of the limit which we are having because of time, because she's based out in Japan and I'm based out in India. Somehow we have to give it a pause for the time being. But I promise I will bring her once again in our talk show, and some more points we will be discussing, which will be giving your value to you and your business, of course. Thank you so much, Anna, once again. And to my podcast listeners, I request for a review. I want an honest review how my podcast is helping you and enhancing your life. I'll be back with many such episodes. Till then, stay tuned, stay connected. Have a great day. And thank you so much, Anna, for being a part of the show.